What's going on, runners? Welcome back to another episode of This Week in Athletics. My name is Lloyd, your host for today, and this is basically a show where we round up all of the athletics news from the past 7 days, the good, the bad, and to be honest, quite frequently, the ugly bits as well. So we're going to start things off in Brussels, Belgium for the European Cross Country Championships, which was this past weekend. I watched it on my sofa with a cup of tea, tuning in to Steve Cram and Paula Ratcliffe. You cannot beat that for a Sunday morning. First of all, big shout out to Trackster's Alfie Manthorpe, who made his debut for Great Britain in the seeded men's race. And in his own words, I hate cross country. Well, mate, you did a fantastic job and we can't wait to see what is next for you. Now, let's dive into some of these races. It was the most successful championships at this race for Great Britain ever. We topped the medal table with 7 golds, 1 silver and 3 bronze medals. And Megan Keith broke the record for the biggest winning margin ever. So it's definitely what I call a success. Now let's dive into those results. So Megan Keith continued her domination this winter. She took the win in Liverpool at Sefton Park in the trial race, and she absolutely stormed the under-23 European race. She took the win by a record-breaking 83 seconds, and over the 8-kilometre course, she actually ran faster than some of the British men did in the under-23 men's race. Okay, these are guys that are running sub 14 minutes for 5K, and Megan Keith is running faster than them for the same course. So incredible running from you, Megan, and we can't wait to see what is next for you this winter. So in the senior men's race, there was obviously a massive absence with Jakob Ingebrigtsen, the Norwegian sensation, missing the race due to injury, and it was Frenchman Jan Schrub who took that opportunity to take the win on the day, and our own Great Britain's Hugo Milner coming home for an individual 4th place. Now, it weren't just European cross-country racing that we had this past weekend. We also had the Telford 10K. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, I have no idea what the Telford 10K is, it is one of the fastest, if not the fastest, 10K road race in the entirety of the UK. This is the level of stacked that this race brings. Now, in the men's race, there were 54 runners that ran inside 30 minutes. And in the women's race, 41 women ran inside 35 minutes. In the women's race, we had this week's guest on the podcast, Georgia Bell, who smashed her personal best, taking the win in 32:23. Second place went to Lauren McNeil, who just finished 3 seconds behind, but also improved her personal best. And the bronze medal went to 800-metre Olympian Alex Bell, who made her 10K debut on the road, claiming third in a notable time of 32:59. In the men's race, it was Mark Scott, the NN Running and Nike professional, who took the win in 28 minutes and 36 seconds, just 5 seconds slower than his season's best over the 10K this year. Mark actually is going to feature on our podcast in the next couple of weeks, so look out for that episode. Behind Mark, to round off the podium, it was identical twins Charles and George Wheeler. They had identical times of 28:40, and it was Charlie who was given the silver medal on the day. So we finally concluded the World Athletics Athlete of the Year, and unfortunately it wasn't Athlete of the Year, which we're used to, where there's a men's winner and a women's winner. 6 athletes were awarded trophies. And to be honest, as you can tell by my response, we don't really know why, to be honest. World Athletics changed up the structure and it was a little bit awkward. The winners and the shortlisted athletes weren't aware of it clearly. And Noah Lyles did express an opinion that changing the format from 2 winners to 6 winners was a little bit strange. 800-metre Olympic finalist Lindsay Sharp has announced her retirement from professional athletics, most known for her 2016 Rio Olympic final in the 800, where she ran a Scottish record of 1 minute and 57 seconds. Lindsay has said that her retirement comes with the desire to spend more time being a new mother to her son, Max. Lindsay leaves an incredible legacy behind, where she was a trailblazer on and off the track, which came just before the Super Shoe era. We wish Lindsay the best of luck for her future endeavours. And finally, to round off the show, UK Athletics. We mentioned them last year, it was all doom and gloom, but this is UKA to a T. 1 minute is down there, the next is up there, so we're going to go up there. They have elected a new president in the form of Sydney Olympic gold medal winner in the heptathlon, Denise Lewis. Big fan of Denise. And vice president has also been elected. World Championship silver medalist in the 1500 metres in Berlin, Hannah England, has taken the mantle for the vice president. And we can't actually wait to see these two flourish in these roles. I feel like they're both young, modern, innovative people who hopefully can take UK athletics to new heights and hopefully find some dough down the back of the sofa. Now, on this week's podcast, we had Georgia Bell, who has just won the Telford 10K just a few days ago. But I spoke to her off the back of a training stint in South Africa with her coach, Trevor Painter, and her training partners, Sarah Healy and Keely Hodgkinson. Here's a quick snippet. You can find the full episode now available on all major platforms.
For a start, you need to make the athletes race more. I think that would be interesting to have some kind of league that make sure that you're going to have fans that are seeing athletes more. And then for those guaranteed races, make them fun. So a couple of weeks ago, I went to a cycling indoor race at Lee Valley, and it had DJs, it had lights, and it was a Friday night, and it was just such a fun evening. They need to put on track races where it's the same thing. Like, have big screens up, have snippets of athletes coming up that you're about to see, like in a profile on Keely, like a few facts about her, something like that, and then have her come out. Things that are going to grow that engagement and make people say, Friday night, can't wait to be there at this track to see that. It's going to be great.
So that's all for this week in athletics. I hope you enjoyed the episode. My name is Lloyd. I've been your host for today's show. We're going to be here next week, although I'm going to be from sunny Thailand. I hope you're not too jealous. And I'll be rounding up the last 7 days of athletics news and also bringing you another guest on the Trackster podcast. Have a good week, runners. I'll see you down the road.